you want to create content with the end user in mind. And what that means is you want to think of your customer avatar, your ideal customer, your fanatic fan, and you want to create content that your fanatic fan would be most likely to engage with.
This is Don't Fear Grit with Rob Taormina. Marketing strategies and advertising technologies to help you build a better business.
Hey guys, welcome back to Don't Fear Grit. I'm so excited to be back here talking about a top 10 list. We haven't done a top 10 list in a while, so I'm pretty pumped to be able to tackle this. The reason why I wanted to bring this topic onto the show is that this was sort of our topic of conversation for our members group that we have. We have a Facebook group where it's a members-only Facebook group, and this week's sort of live training, we were covering the top 10 ways to increase engagement on Facebook. And after the training, I'm like, you know what, this would be a really great topic for Don't Fear Grit for our audience here to be able to just sort of offer this as value and just sort of, get through the list together. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to be going through a top 10 list, which is the top 10 ways to increase engagement on Facebook. Now, some of these techniques could be applied to other platforms, but for the purpose of this discussion, it's really for Facebook. It's geared towards the platform of Facebook. So number one on the list, and by the way, this is not least to greatest. This is just an order of discussion. I want to clarify there. The first on the list, and this might not come as a surprise to many of you, maybe, but others, it is a surprise. Analyze your data. Now, it might not come as a surprise to you that in the sense that you know that you can do that, but having been in this business for as long as I have, I know for a fact the vast majority of people, even marketers included, don't analyze data. They just push content out. What I want to recommend to you guys, if you want to increase your engagement, is to analyze the data. It tells you so much. One of the obvious things that data can tell you that would be helpful is when to post, the optimal time to post. You might be posting at a time when the user base of your network actually isn't online. So Facebook's not pushing it out to as many people as you could. You're not maximizing the visibility of that particular post. So what I want to recommend everyone to do is to go into the Facebook Analytics, go into Facebook Insights, and there's a really great section that breaks down the optimal times, the peak times of when users are consuming your content. See when that is, both daily and weekly, and that should tell you when you should be posting and what's likely going to happen if you adjust your post schedule to those optimal times. It's going to now increase the amount of people that engage simply because more people are now seeing your content. The second thing that you can do to increase content is when you're creating it. What you want to do is you want to create content with the end user in mind. And what that means is you want to think of your customer avatar, your ideal customer, your fanatic fan, and you want to create content that your fanatic fan would be most likely to engage with. You don't necessarily want to create just any content that just anyone is going to engage with, but ultimately your fanatic fan, the people who you're most influential over to make a purchasing decision. This way, you're not only increasing engagement, you're increasing engagement that you can now monetize. Next on the list is you want to analyze your most popular post. Go back. If you've been in business for a while and you've had a Facebook account for a while, whether it be your personal brand account or your business account, you got a lot of content there. Go back into that history, and it doesn't matter to me if it's only a couple of weeks, a couple months, a couple years. Go back and analyze the content, and what you'll be able to do is separate content that performed really well against content that didn't. Those two things will separate themselves. And then what you'll do is it'll be very obvious to you then by seeing the content that performed well, what type of content you should be doing moving forward. Do more content like that, people. You don't have to guess. It's likely if you've had an account for a while now that the data is right there that you can just study. And that's another piece of data that you can go back and really get some value out of. Next thing on the list, to increase your engagement. This is not meant to be offensive. I'm not trying to knock your photography skills, but you got to up your photo game. I analyze a lot of content. It's part of what we do. and we do a lot of Facebook account audits, and oftentimes what's on the list of things that need to change are simply the images. The imagery representing the business or the entity or the brand is terrible. It's not even representative of that business or brand or product. So up your photo game. If it's a personal brand, even if you're a business owner and it's on your business page, people like seeing faces more than they like seeing like stock images. If you could, start moving away from stock images and start moving towards real images from in the real moment. We're all armed with these amazing things, these cell phones that are actually, the cell phone is like secondary to the other functions of it. The cameras are great. And if you're not good at taking selfies, then ask the people around you to take a picture for you. But you want to up your photo game. That little bit of effort will make a big difference. Another thing that you're going to want to do to increase your engagement, and that this is actually part of one of our secret trade tips that we teach in what's called the CHUM method, and that's available to all of our members and our students. We have an online training academy. But one of the really great secret tips that we reveal to people, and we go into detail on actually how to do this, but you want to make sure you're driving comments to your content more than likes and shares. In addition to driving comments, you want to reply to every comment. These platforms are meant to be conversational, not a one-way conversation where you post something, someone comments, and the conversation ends. You want to get that person to engage again, then engage into that conversation, invest into that conversation, and keep them coming back for more. Another thing you can do to increase your engagement is to create content for a platform. Now, I know most of you, because it's easy, take one piece of content and put it everywhere. They put it on their Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube. They just blast the same content. One way of actually increasing your level of engagement is actually creating it for that platform. There's ways you can do that as well. Another thing that you could do to increase engagement is the proper CTA. CTA in our world stands for call to action. Don't be afraid of it, but don't abuse it. Call to actions when it comes to building a personal brand is not, will you buy my product or buy my product for a certain amount of money? A call to action, remember, you want to link this with my other piece of advice. If my advice is you want to get people to engage by way of a comment, therefore your call to action should be what? Getting people to comment. Another thing you could do is upload your content directly to the platform that you're actually posting on, right? So if you are on your personal profile or if you are on a Facebook group, do not share a piece of content from your business page to the Facebook group. You want to upload it directly to that group. What's going to happen, it's naturally going to be seen by more people because that's just how Facebook works. So you want to be able to upload it right to that platform. And I know what you're thinking. Well, I want them to see the name of my business and I want to get that traffic to the business. You will. If you want to build trust first, and that's what they'll do. Offer value, build trust. That will lead to transaction. Another thing that you want to do to increase your engagement is creating more diversity in your content. Start a podcast yourself. Video podcasting in particular. It is an incredibly influential piece of content that has blown up over the course of this past year. And you're not missing the train. Just get on it now. Start it. If you have one, but you sort of do it whenever you feel like you can, or you feel like it's a little tedious, or maybe I do it once a month or so, do it more. And if you're not able to do it yourself, and that's the reason why you haven't started, then find a studio, find someone that can produce it for you. It's that important. We have a studio, this particular studio that our members have access to. We have a program called Launch Elite, where members are able to come in here on a regular basis and we produce the content for them. There's no reason for you to have an excuse to not produce content that's going to help you build your brand, sell your product, and build your business. Podcasting is definitely that thing right there. The last thing on our list that we want to cover is not necessarily the most important, but it's definitely something that can make a really big difference. And this is also one of the trade secrets that are revealed in our online training portal that we have. And this particular course is called the Chum Method, is revealed there. But what I want you guys to do is I want you to go back to old content, and I want you to actually reply to a comment on that old piece of content. So it's on your public profile. You go back a couple months, you go back a year even. I want you to find a post that you had posted. It could be unrelated actually to business, and it could maybe look terrible and you haven't applied these brand new techniques. That's okay, because that's not the point of this. But what I want you to do is just simply reply to an old comment. Be relevant. Don't be salesy. If it's your personal brand and it's just a friend or a family member, mention that. Say, hey, I miss you guys, or I miss this moment. There's a lot of things that you can say. Because really the point that you want to do is you want to tell Facebook again to start showing that content, and it will. What it'll do is that old piece of content, let's say it's a year old, if you comment on it, it makes it relevant again. Facebook will then take that post and re-show it to everyone that had seen it prior. What's great about it is you have an opportunity to get them re-engaged and make them a current engaged user instead of an aged engaged user. So important. So that's our top 10 that we wanted to go over. I want to do more of these. This is awesome. Top 10s are a lot of fun. We haven't done these in a while, but anyway, this is the top 10 ways to increase engagement, specifically on Facebook. Again, some of these techniques will work on other platforms, but today we're talking specifically about Facebook. If any of you guys have any questions about this stuff, this is my world. I love it. Please reach out to me. I love talking about this stuff. I would love to help. And you know what? If we've mentioned something that you guys might be interested in, for example, like if you want to come become a Launch Elite member or a Launch Learn member or get access to our online training portal, we've got a ton of people that are more than happy to talk to you guys about it. But ultimately, we care about you and your journey, and all we want to do is help you be successful. So it starts by you committing to, yes, today's the day. I'm going to own this moment right here, and I'm going to make a difference. And I hope you guys do that. Apply these techniques. You will see a difference, guys. All right. Remember, don't fear the process and don't fear grit. Take care, guys.